Hello, this is Matt from XL Pro Tech, and today I'm going to be taking you through the changing of the hard drive cable from a MacBook Pro. It's quite an old version. It's an A for Alpha 1278. So we'll just go straight ahead, and I'll move that bit of paper out of the way so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so let's start them how we normally start. Let's take the back off this thing. So we're just following the screws all around. These are Phillips screws. And that's the hinge part there, where the just at the top there, where the screen goes in. So on this model you've got some long screws. Right at the top here you've got 3 long screws and then a short screw just over here in the left hand corner, and the rest of the screws are pretty much the same size, but don't be putting any of the your longer screws down in any of these slots here, otherwise you're going to end up with a screw coming out the other end. So, as always, we are live from Huddersfield in the UK. Anything can happen on stream. I could totally mess up. I could have to potentially go answer the door because they're doing a lot of works next door and they might need to turn off the water. Customer might decide that they want to come in. So just be aware that if you are watching, I might not be here for all of the stream. Okay, so this is one of the last MacBook Pros to have a standard hard drive inside of it. The models after this all come with a solid state drives. And unfortunately the drives, Seagate drives, are normally quite good. I find I normally put Seagate drives in computers that we build here. Other people's don't like them. I find the reliability to be quite good, and it's normally, when there's a problem with the drive with these, it is normally this little cable, normally this ribbon cable running across here. It's quite a flimsy little thing, and it can quite easily, just even through no visible damage, it can become unusable. It won't interface with the hard drive, so generally these need replacing. I think the guy says that this is the second or third time that he's had to have this cable replaced. But yeah, it is a well-known design fault, and normally the symptoms of this is that you have a folder with a question mark on the coming up when you try and boot it up. You can sometimes see the drive if you go on to any other utility, but you cannot basically access it. Hooking the drive up basically to make sure that I've got the right part, make sure it's not the hard drive. I've taken the hard drive out previously and hooked it into an external caddy, and we can see it comes up fine on another computer. So right, we're going to take this hard drive out, get it out of the way, and so there's 2 screws here. Let's see if we can zoom in without wrecking the camera. Nope, camera's already wrecked. Much like this camera cable is a lot like this hard drive cable. You don't touch it, you don't move it, you don't do anything with it. It just seems to stop all of a sudden. Right, so yeah, there's 2 screws here. I'm not going to actually zoom in because it's just so flaky as that cable. I don't want to damage anything and stop the stream again. So yeah, we've got 2 screws here which will take off this black bit of plastic here which is holding the hard drive in. So just take that out, put it to one side, and we should be able to remove the hard drive here and just make sure you get the SATA connector here. Just slowly squeeze that out there, and again put your hard drive to one side somewhere where it's going to be safe. So let's have a look here. We've got two screws here that need to be undone either side of this cable, this ribbon cable. Let's take those out. Again, these are Phillips screws, so there shouldn't be any problem with them. We're taking those out. Again, put them to one side. And you'll notice that this cable does go further along here. I believe that there's a little temperature sensor on the side of it as well, so we will need to take that out as well. But yeah, basically it's this first connector here. Just flip that up. You can use a plectrum if need be, if you're finding it difficult, if you don't want to make sure you avoid getting any of the components. It is stuck down with a glue. Is this cable. On the underside you can see previous remnants of the previous cable, where this customer said he's already had this done before. So we've got it to this point here. What we need to do now, let's just move that a bit more into view. We need to take out this screw here and release this bit of plastic. Again, take that bit out. It's a long screw on this one. Again, it is a Phillips screw. Take that out again, and you should be able to just get this, take this bit of plastic out right there. So yeah, there you go. That is the part that it's connecting into, which I believe to be a temperature sensor. Again, my camera has stopped. So regarding the camera feed, it has been seems to have been playing up over the last few streams. I haven't actually done any streams for nearly a month now. My plan is to rectify this with a new camera. It's not the cable, unfortunately. Just seems to be taking the mickey now. So right, yeah, as you can see, it's connected up there to a little temperature sensor. So what we're going to need to do, there's that orange cable there. We're going to need to flick up this. It goes into a little clasp there. We need to flick that up because we are going to be removing this part here, all of this board here. So let's just see if we can get that cable, that orange cable out, orangey yellow cable. So take that out of there, and we should just be able to peel this off this little sensor. So there you go, that's what you should be left with. Again, my camera seems to have messed up. Yeah, let's see if we can get through it. So yeah, that's what you should be left with once you've peeled that little sensor off. So best thing to do, start off with on this repair, let's get that sensor back on to this plastic bit and then route this cable below where it's going to be going. So I'm going to take off this. Mine comes with a self-adhesive backing on the sensor. Let's take that off. It's 3M, so it should be fine. Let's first of all put this orangey yellow cable into it and then stick it down. So it's quite fiddly, it's quite small. You may need some tweezers to do this. I'm going to attempt to do it just like this, but however you find it easiest to do it. Right, there we go. And then we can just stick this sensor down. Okay, so obviously when you are doing this, make sure that you're very careful with the ribbon cable. Very sort of sensitive to. Oh no, in fact it's an LED, isn't it? Is that the status LED? I'm not entirely sure. Right, so we can put our is it too much to ask for this camera to work? First video in a month, and yeah, nothing. Right. Yeah, it's just going to have to be flaky. Right, we're back. So yeah, put it back. Put this back where it is. Screw it back in again. Tell you what, let's see if I can use this camera instead. I don't think this is good quality, but let's just figure out somewhere to mount it. Nope, that camera refuses to work as well. This is ridiculous. Right, let's just see if we can get this camera working. Apologies. As I said before, this is a live stream, so anything can happen. I'm just going to have to live with a flaky camera. Right, look like we're back on. So we've screwed this back in here. What we're now going to do, there is some tape on the back again for the one that I've purchased. It's a 3M tape, so I'm pretty happy that that will stick down correctly. So I'm just going to follow the old glue marks there. You could potentially, if you wanted to, clean that all up. I don't think there's any need at this point here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take some screws and re-screw this cable back down here. So as I was saying, just be really careful with this cable. It's notoriously fragile. Connect that back up there. I don't actually have any, there's no tape that goes on there on that side of it. You could tape that down. In fact, I will just put a little bit of tape on it. Just to hold it in place so it's not flapping around, flapping in the wind as it were. Just on that corner. Okay, so we can now replace the hard drive that we took out. Let's connect in the SATA cable there, put that into the holes there, and then we need to screw that bit, that plastic bit down there, and clamp the hard drive in. Okay. Excellent. And now all we need to do is put the case back on and test. So as before, we're going to put the large screws in at the top here. 3 large screws, 1, 2, and 3. And then a small screw on the left hand side. And small screws all the way around. And that is our repair complete. Okay, so now this MacBook Pro should be working again, and we should be able to see it when we load up. So yeah, we're seeing a recovery partition there, just on the screen, so we know that it is actually working. Unfortunately, the customer has already wiped the hard drive, so and they want to reinstall it themselves. So we'll leave them to that. We know that this is working because a recovery drive is coming up. and also you can also see that the Mac OS X install DVD is there as well. So I'm quite happy with that, all working fine. Let's turn it off for now, and that is all done. Apologies for the camera problem. I will be sure to get that fixed as soon as I can. And yeah, hopefully we'll be doing some more streams later on. I've got a Mac Air keyboard to do. I'll make sure this camera's fixed, and then I'll get on to that repair and stream that a bit later on today. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Matt from XL Pro Tech. If you'd like to leave a tip for us, just follow the link below in the description. That'd be very much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.